No, it's not about respect. Respect is the wrong word. It's accept. It's two different things. Respecting someone's decisions. I cannot tell my children, you must go ahead and say, oh, I don't drink because I believe it's a sin. But if you do drink, well, you're respectable. No, you're committing a sin, but I accept the fact that you're okay with it. Because this is my belief. If I believe in heaven and hell, and I believe we're going to be held accountable for our actions. So if I teach my children what you do is going to affect your afterlife, but then you have another person who doesn't even believe in an afterlife, I cannot confuse my child and say, he's also right, but I'm also right. Because like, what the fuck? Well, which is it? What you're telling me?
Why can't you?
Because
there are different religions. Why can't you just be like, he believes in a different religion?
No, this again goes back to
believes in a different.
But so I accept it,
right?
But that doesn't mean it's right. That doesn't make it right with my belief.
To you, yeah.
So my family.
But like, you can also just tell your kid, yeah, we believe what he's doing is wrong. He believes that's not the case, and that's okay.
That's what I just said. But what I'm telling you is I cannot tell my child that he's also right. So if someone chooses, for example, to have, let's say if they're, whatever, in their house, you've got two fathers, okay? And they've adopted a child, okay? My child's going to ask me, is that normal? I'm going to say, no, it's not. But in Canada, it is. You're allowed to have two dads. Do I think it's normal? Do I think it's a healthy home environment? Fuck no. I believe a child needs maternal love, not just two paternal parents. There's a reason why there's a mother and a father, because they love differently. So you're blessed because you've got that. They're doing what they're doing, but no, I don't believe that that's right. But I'm not going to, tell them they should burn, we're going to tar and feather them for it. That's their view. Great. We accept it, but I don't believe in that at all. I don't agree with it. And there's science behind that a child who has maternal love and paternal love is going to come out healthier than a child who only has it's already been proven a single parent is worse off. The child is worse off than if they have a loving mother and father who have a healthy relationship than having a healthy relationship just with your mom. That's already been proven. Over time now, it's going to be proven because there's more couples like this where they have two females or two males who are raising a child. And they are missing something. We can't say that they're not. A boy who grows up with two moms and doesn't have a dad, he's fucking missing something. We can't say, oh no, he's totally well-rounded. No, he's going to be missing something. I'm not saying it's a bad thing and he's going to be a failure in life, but the perfect family environment would be a loving mother and a loving father that have a healthy relationship, and the child is raised with that. Because a mother's love is different than a father's love. A mother's attention is different than a father's attention. And that creates a well-rounded child. Whereas if the child only has just a mother because they're divorced, he's not going to be as rounded as a child who's got both a mother and a father. It's already been proven. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to tell my child, oh, when you grow up, you want to be with if it's my daughter, you want to be with a girl and you want to raise a child, the child's going to turn out perfectly fine. No, that's not my religious beliefs. So everyone is entitled to have their values, their religious values, their home values, their own morals, completely their own set of them. We can't force it upon people, but that's what's happening now is that, oh, well, if you're going to tell your child something, this is the way you should say it. Who the fuck are you to tell me how I should communicate with my child? It's not your child. It's my home. It's my fucking kid. I'll tell my kid whatever I want. That's my belief. And it's a different thing if I'm going to be promoting violence and hatred and say, kill these fucking people. Everyone is allowed to do, there's no compulsion in religion. You don't want to follow it, don't follow it. That's up to you. You want to, you do. I truly believe that. I hate countries where they force it on people, but I also hate countries that will try to correct individuals and tell them, well, this is not the way you should raise your child. If I'm not abusing my child, I'm not harming them, I'm giving them a loving environment, and I've got my own religious values and morals that I'm following, who the fuck are you to come into my house and tell me, no, I cannot say this or that? That's the problem with schools, because we've gone to the point where we care about everything. And then what that does is, where do you draw the line? Now, if I have someone, let's say my company in Toronto, and they fucking identify as a black lesbian, and he's a guy. So now I'm going to tell all my fucking staff to refer to him as a black lesbian. Everyone else is fucking uncomfortable. What the fuck? No, I'm sorry. The same way, there's a school in Colorado. There's only one, there's hundreds of these, where it's a high school and there's a all-girls volleyball team. This fucking guy who, tried out for the male volleyball team, could never make it. He now, in 2023, said he's a female. And he's now part of the volleyball team.
Is he going through the transition process?
Nothing. And guess what he does? He walks around fucking butt naked in the girls' locker room. So these girls now, they don't take a shower. They go home sweaty. And they're like, what the fuck? So they spoke to the principal and they said, oh no, we have to respect his rights. Well, what the fuck? What about our rights? I'm sorry. Like, now that they're allowing young kids in elementary schools and saying they can walk into a girl's bathroom if they identify as a female. When I was 8 years old, and that to me was a golden ticket. I can go to the girls' bathroom. That's funny as fuck. I'm gonna stand in the toilet, look over, and look at the girls peeing. So what's happening now in North America? Girls are having all kinds of infections, stomach aches, fucking digestive problems because they won't go to the bathroom to use the bathroom. They're afraid of boys walking in.
I'll have to show you because there's even like a whole thing with like actual like Olympic swim teams. Like I forget her name's like Riley. She's the one who's causing like a huge complaint about this happening.
Riley Gaines.
Yes, thank you.
Because she was supposed to win the gold in the UK. So this fucking guy who's a guy named William, now he goes as Leah because it's LIA, it's a part of William, hasn't done anything, has a penis, everything. When you see him swimming against girls, you can see his whole package. And he couldn't even place in the top 700 in the men's side in swimming. In 2023, said he's a female. Went to the UK Olympics for swimming, won fucking gold in everything, broke every world record possible they ever had. And then one of them, I think it was the backstroke, the 200 meter, Leah and Riley tied. And guess who the swimming organization gave the gold medal to? Leah. And they said, why? It's a great photo op. And this poor girl, Riley's been competing her whole fucking life. She's like, I can't beat this fucking person. Even if I train for the next 4 years, I'm never going to beat this individual. And this girl, Leah, has a dick and walks around the locker room with his dick out. Like, that's not fair.
And like some of the swim people will actually change in like the janitor's room because there's
it's fucked up, right? So that's what happens when you say yes, yes, yes. Now it's like, where do you draw the line? There's no more line. So it's like anything fucking goes. Like in Winnipeg, there was 2 moms in the shopping mall who took their daughters to the girls' bathroom. The girls were like 6 or 7 or whatever. And this grown ass fucking man with a beard, 6'4", 280 pounds, walked into the female bathroom. And both moms like, whoa, buddy, you came to the wrong bathroom. He's like, I identify as a female. So I don't give a fuck what you identify with. My little girls are in the stall. They're going to come out. They're going to be fucking traumatized seeing you fucking standing and peeing. Can you please give us 2 minutes? He said no. So they pushed him out. The police was called. Both the moms got arrested for violating this guy's human rights. That's fucked. I'm sorry. That to me is fucked. I mean, have some respect. There's 2 little girls in there. You want to go in the women's bathroom? Just wait 2 seconds. Fuck your human right. What about their right? They're going to be traumatized now. So I'm not saying that, take all people who are trying to throw them on an island. I'm saying have respect for the other side as well, too. It shouldn't be all of a sudden that, we have to all just only have feelings for now this new movement. Yeah, okay, great. We can be sensitive to it. But what about our rights? And now I'm being called, what's the fucking term? What's the term for a straight male?
Misogynistic.
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
What's it called? Like, what's a binary? No, what's the fucking... what's the
Are
term?
you referring to cisgendered?
Cis.
Because cisgendered is referring to any person that is still identifying as their gender.
Well, fuck that. No, I'm a male. I'm not a fucking
identifying
cis.
as their sex.
Yeah, so SIC, right?
Yes.
So I'm sick.
No, it's CIS.
Yeah, so I'm sick. No, I'm a male.
That's actually like a scientific term, though.
Fuck that. Cisgender, I'm a male, she's a female. You guys came up with all these fucking clown fucking terms. Don't lay them on me. You want to go as they, them, he, she, whatever? That's fine. You can call us what you want, but I'm a male. I'm not a cis. I'm a male. That's who I am. And a female identifies as a female. She's a female. She's a straight female.
Yeah, and so like cisgendered is only a way of like identifying transgendered and cisgendered. It's not like a derogatory term.
Well, to me it is.
It's used as a derogatory term sometimes because there are frequent issues with specifically cisgendered men, but it's never like, it is a scientific term.
That's great. 10 years ago, that term was never used ever when it comes to the general public. So now...
And science evolves.
It's not science.
That's literally what it's supposed to do.
These are terms that are being pushed now. So if I'm not identifying myself as a transgender, I've got a separate fucking label now. Fuck that. I'm a male. That person's a female. You're transgender, which is great. But for me to be able to sit back and say that your feelings are facts, I don't believe feelings are facts. Feelings are feelings. That's why they're called feelings. Facts are facts. So whatever we've been taught for thousands and thousands and thousands of years is all of a sudden not factual anymore. But with the movement that's going on today is completely factual. No, it's not. It's a fucking trend. We're going to get through it. And already now there's a pushback happening, a huge pushback, because again, if you don't draw the lines, it's going to overlap into areas and cause chaos. And who's affected by this the most? Women. Not men, women. You're not going to see a lot of transgender males fucking with biological males in sports because they're going to lose. They already know that. Who's going to fuck around are people who were men before. Now they're identifying as a female. They're going to dominate in sports against females.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
So here's the thing. I actually work in sports.
Okay.
And that's not the case. Yes, they do have a higher chance while during transition that they will be more competitive because their body has developed a different way. But once they've gone onto the hormones, it actually physically changes the way your muscles and your body develops. And therefore, it's not actually, they're not going to go out and dominate once they are fully
1,000%. And the reason for that is the number one fact behind it is males have a larger lung capacity that will not change. So we're able to take more oxygen in than females ever can. By taking in more oxygen, our muscles get more oxygen. You'll never be able to change that. I don't care how many pills they fucking give you. Your intake of oxygen, just because of our lung capacity. They're not going to be able, unless you go and get lung surgery and cut your lungs down to size of a female. Men who are transgender or not are able to take in more oxygen. Oxygen is what feeds your blood and feeds your muscles. So for that reason, men have more endurance and they're stronger. And that'll never, I don't care how much estrogen pills they take, that's never, ever, ever going to change. And that's been proven just recently last year when they had the weightlifting competition in Canada. And they had that, we talked about this as well too, where they had a female, a transgender female who transitioned 20 years ago. Okay. So in this competition, what they do is they will calculate the weight of the max amount of weight you can deadlift, max amount of weight you can bench press, and max amount of weight you can squat. Yep. So this individual, what the fuck was this person? I forgot the person's name, but there's a video of it. And let's say the person's name is Carrie. So Carrie ended up lifting, forget Carrie. Say the top biological female. Let's say her total in those three categories was, 400 pounds. How much more do you think Carrie lifted in total, which is the transgender female, than a biological female?
In which category?
So what they did is they did bench press, deadlift, and squat. And they add all three together. So the maximum you can do in each. So let's say if this other girl, Lisa, was biological, she had 200 pounds in bench press, 200 pounds in deadlift, 200 pounds in squat. Her total number is 600.
Okay.
So let's say Lisa's total number is 600. Carrie, who's a transgender female, how much do you think Carrie beat that biological female by? You said you're in sports, right? So just take a guess. And this person has transitioned over 20 years ago and taken all the testosterone, all those pills, whatever it was. What do you think?
720?
She beat the other individual by 400 pounds.
Okay.
So no woman's going to beat that ever. And finally now the Canadian Weightlifting Association is saying maybe we're going to change our rules and not allow transgender females to compete. So a ton of the sports organizations now are backing down from that. They're not allowing transgender females to compete against biological females because it's just it's not a level playing field. There's no fucking way. None. Number one way to prove it, look at MMA. I'd love to see a transgender female fight against a female and get beat the shit out of. Or vice versa, have a transgender male, so who was a female before, compete against a fucking champion MMA who was a male, and let's see them beat him. It's not going to happen because women are built different. It's the DNA. You can't change DNA with a bunch of pills. It's the way that your entire body is structured. That's never going to change. You can lower the testosterone level in an individual. You can, but it's not going to change their lung capacity. And lungs are the number one thing when it comes to how much your blood flows and how much your muscles are being fed. That can never be changed. So it's affecting women more than anybody else. Women are the ones who are being harmed by this. So feminists out there are realizing, what the fuck, we accepted this, but we're the ones getting fucked over.